Looking back, the first year of Gatorbotics was nothing if not chaotic. When we started the team in 2005, we were just a small group of girls excited to learn how to build life-size 120-pound robots. 10 years later, I'm so impressed to see how much the team has grown, and I'm so excited that it's still a community dedicated to inspiring young women's interest in math, science, and engineering.
Gatorbotics was my favorite part of high school. It was all of my favorite people, and it was just a great community to be in.
I like Gatorbotics because I think it has a great team and a great community, and I think it's really fun not only to be doing engineering and solving problems, but really to be doing that with friends.
I think it for me was just working in a really small team and getting really close with these girls, but it wasn't just sort of a social experience, but it was also an intellectual experience.
Any ability level or experience level or anything, you can get so much out of the team if you just commit to wanting to know more. I came to the team not knowing the difference between a nut and a bolt, and here I am, the mechanical lead. And
I think what really got me hooked on robotics was how hands-on it was. To have our robot that started out as nothing at the beginning of 6 weeks turned into something that could shoot a basketball at a hoop more accurately than I could.
Definitely problem solving is the number one thing that I owe to robotics, because I feel now I find a problem and I want to know the answer.
I think I learned a lot in a way that couldn't be taught in the classroom.
I got to help design the conveyor belt that picked up a basketball off the ground and fed it to a shooter.
To see the designs that we had come up with on paper and all the calculations we had done really come to life.
It allowed me to discover what is now my passion, which is computer science.
We learned about electronics and physics in freshman year, and now I can apply it to things that are way beyond what we did in freshman year.
One of the big things that our team focused on was, even though we had a lot of really supportive mentors, we did all of the coding and all of the building ourselves.
But the fact that no one was telling us what to do, I think, was huge, because it gave us a lot of confidence.
Gatorbotics does a really good job of just creating a community where people feel encouraged to participate no matter their age or experience. For me, it was really inspiring to have the older members come up to me and say here, this is how you use this tool, or this is how you mount a motor when it seems wow, how do you even connect these two parts? And just the first few weeks when we're prototyping and brainstorming, you see all these freshmen building these really cool prototypes.
It's fun to mentor an underclassman because you struggled through learning Java and FRC Java. Now you're teaching them the same skills so that they can help themselves.
And we want to build the best thing that we can build and get everyone passionate about it.
Gatorbotics is a really safe place to learn from your mistakes.
Especially in engineering, it's a lot of not just trial and error, but you have to be okay with things breaking and then you have to fix them.
In my senior year, we decided to rebuild the chassis at the Silicon Valley Regional Competition.
We spent the first practice day at competition literally taking apart the entire robot, all the electronics, we took the arms off of the robot and put them onto a new chassis.
Teams would walk by and they were judging us.
People in pits around us were just laughing their heads off, thinking we were absolutely insane. But that experience was so fun because it was so intense, but we had a plan, we knew what we were doing.
And even though it didn't work necessarily better, it was a really good learning experience, and none of us thought it was the wrong decision.
It's really not about how the robot does, it's about what we learn and how we get there.
We learn technical things like coding and soldering and mechanical engineering and things like that. But I think for me, the most valuable lessons I learned from robotics are more mental, failure is okay, you should ask questions, it's okay if you don't know the answer.
Only in robotics did I learn to persevere and troubleshoot to the extent that I am capable of now.
I can't imagine robotics without the mentors. They're definitely old enough to know way, way, way more than we do, but they're also both relatable and interesting role models.
I think it's so inspiring to have mentors who are in the workforce, actually doing engineering and computer science, and to talk to them and hear about what they do, but then also to get advice from them on, what
we're working on.
But we need people who are in the industry to like, you know, give us advice about, you know, what's actually practical and, you know, what things that we didn't think of that we could use.
One of our mentors brought in a couple motherboards for us to solder, and that was my first like not too wired together soldering experiences.
And I really looked up to the mentors. Like, I remember all through high school just wanting to have a real relationship with the people who came to help us out.
It's just so inspiring to be with people who are so passionate about what they do and like are willing to share that with us.
It was fun to see not just the good things they were doing, but also the hard things that they were doing.
But whether it was people studying for their PhDs or working in industry or other things as well, it was just like a lot of ideas for what we could do.
Without our mentors and especially our female mentors, I don't know if I would be in computer science right now. I think it's really important to have female people in the field you're interested in, and I think without that, I would be confused as to what I wanted to study and where I wanted to go with my life.
It's hard to remember now, but I really don't think I thought of engineering as like a potential career path or had like any clue like what engineers did.
I was never really into technology until I got to robotics, and I never had been exposed to programming either.
Before I started robotics, I didn't really like engineering or anything like that. Like, I thought I was bad at math, which really just meant that I just didn't work very hard at it. So when I didn't do well, I was like, oh, I'm so bad at this.
For the first 2 years of high school, I was set on the fact that I wanted to major in English, or I wanted to go into journalism, I wanted to write as a career. But after doing robotics and sort of seeing both mentors and students who are older than me really go into STEM fields, it made me realize that I really enjoyed engineering and I really enjoyed computer science, and that was what I wanted to try to do in college.
I love Gatorbotics. It's just awesome.
Gatorbotics is a place where we go to just do engineering.
I think at competitions sometimes the people on other teams kind of underestimate us. They just think, oh, they're a girls' team, whatever. So that's sometimes a little bit disappointing.
You know, traditionally it's been a guy thing, whatever, but I think it's time to get over that, and, you know, we can do so much better.